What's up YouTube? What's up NBA fans? Welcome back to the Samsseed channel. I want to welcome you guys back. I know I haven't been uploading in a while, and if you're from Texas, you know that it had to do with the severe weather that we dealt with about 2 weeks ago. It hit this area hard, so we saw snow like we've never seen it before here in this parts of Texas. And it really did. It knocked out electricity. It stopped water. It had a big effect on the community. I'm very glad to say that we've pulled through it, most of us. Me and my family, we weathered the storm. We're here, but there were a lot of people who did make it through, and that's something to keep in mind. So keep your prayers out for all those people who are dealing with the aftermath of what happened. That being said, I just want to let you guys know I am new to YouTube, and so I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still learning how to get proper footage and all those good things. And so I have been hit with 1 or 2 copyright claims on some videos, one in particular actually, and I'm trying to work my way through it, trying to see about what I can do to get that thing right. If I can't get it right, guys, I'm just gonna pull it down. I'll re-edit it. I will make it better than it was before. So I'm just trying to see it as an opportunity to make it better. But if it does, I will let you guys know what that's gonna look like. All right. Moving on from there, just a couple things that was on my mind that I felt like talking about today. And the first thing has to do with some stuff that's happening in the NBA, especially this season, with players getting ejected from games based upon what seems like very small slights, especially if it's towards the referee. In particular, you saw what happened with DeMarcus Cousins earlier this season, where he was ejected. He had one technical. He was given a second technical just for looking at the ref upset over a missed call. We saw Isaiah Thomas. He was ejected from a game for making contact with a referee when it was very clear that the contact only became because he was in momentum. He was falling, and the ref was just right in front of him. And he was ejected. And recently, a player named J.J. Redick, I believe that's his name, J.J. Redick, he was ejected for seemingly throwing the ball at the ref, even though he didn't throw it directly at him. He tossed it, put a spin on it, and it bounced up, hit the ref in the leg. And you just see what's very interesting to me in these situations. You see the ref in this big over-dramatic response, and you're out of here and all this stuff. It's overdone. And I understand that the NBA puts these rules in place to protect their refs, seemingly. Though we do know, if we know the history of the NBA and their referees, we know that there's been histories of referees overreacting to things, and also of coming to find out those same refs that are overreacting, also coming to find out that they are making, they are been involved in conspiracies, been involved with intentionally making bad calls to decide outcomes of games. All right, and it's been scandal and all this good stuff. And it seems like a lot of the rules are put in place just to make sure that nobody would dare question the referee, that people are afraid of them. I don't think that's right, and it's very clear to me, at least, that this is kind of an abuse of power that needs to be addressed. Remember, these rules are supposed to be to make the NBA look good and not to raise questions about the character of their referees. So that's something that I hope will get addressed soon. I don't think, their players, obviously, I mentioned DeMarcus Cousins, and he does have a history of acting out. It is what it is. But when you consider the type of players, the stuff that people have dealt with before, the Meta World Pieces, the Rasheed Wallaces, a lot worse things can happen. A lot worse things can happen to a referee than a player being like, what kind of call was that? Hey, you're gonna be called into question. And I think what stuck out to me the most was in, the case of the DeMarcus Cousins ejection, was that he was actually running backwards and complaining. So he's not being aggressive towards the ref. So that's, yeah, I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed, needs to be kind of worked out with the referees. Going on from there, the other thing that I want to talk about, well, actually, before that, I want to ask you guys, go ahead and comment if you remember a situation where you feel like the ejection was questionable or unnecessary. I want you to put that down in the comments below. All right? And I want to get some discussion. I want to see more people, NBA fans, talking about these things. All right, so let's move on to number 2 now. What I want to talk about is, how do we feel about what's been happening in the NBA the last 6-7 years with players requesting trades, and the seeming the drama that engulfs it each time. If you've seen my previous video, you know that I believe that an NBA player is an independent contractor, should have a right to take their work, their abilities or talent wherever they want to. However, it does seem like more and more recently there's been these issues of where it almost feels like the player is trying to sabotage the team. The player seems to be trying to sabotage the team in order to get their release from the contract. The big one this year is the James Harden trade, and all the complaints that he wasn't coming in shape. He wasn't really participating in the training camps the way you would expect him to, that maybe he was partying and things of that nature. As an NBA fan, as somebody who tries his best to not be too bandwagon, to try to see the best in all players, you would hope that the player would not, intentionally sabotage the team he's on. Because remember, all those players you're playing with are they are other players just like you who are trying to make it in the NBA, who are trying to put food on the table and trying to become successful. And of course, this has been going on for years. When we saw The Last Dance, they talked about, player, I'm going to take my surgery mid-season or at the beginning of the season because I don't feel like I'm getting paid what I deserve, and all these other things. There has to be that good balance of good business, having a good business mindset, good sportsmanship. All right? Because as much as we do know that, the NBA history books is written by the NBA, people will always have certain mentalities towards certain players based upon their behavior. So I want to see what you guys think about this. Do you think it's fair for players to be demanding trades and refusing to play or refusing to do certain things with the team unless they get that trade? All right. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. And also in the comments below, if there's any other topic that you guys feel like you want to hear about, hey, let me know in the comments below. All right. You can follow me on Instagram at Samsseed210. All right. And I will holler at you guys later.
Again, I invite you to follow the link in the description below to Hybe.com. Sign up with Hybe.com and become a part of their loyalty program where you will receive a free box every day. This unique unboxing website allows you to experience world-famous designer brands regardless of how much or how little you wish to spend.